as I've noted in my work, this type of behavior in which Epstein engaged in is not anomalous. And a lot of governments have done this for a long time, particularly this network, which Epstein was involved in, which again, I've argued for a long time is transnational in scope, but involves probably most closely the US, Israel, and then former Soviet bloc countries, as well as Russia. And a lot of that is thanks to people like Robert Maxwell and the people that he worked with to tether that all together, if you will. But ultimately, the goal was to globalize organized crime. I argue it's at this point defined itself into a cartel, and they're really calling the shots, as it were, with a lot of this stuff. So one of the ways that they've done that historically is through recording people in compromising positions. So obviously, I can refer you to my books because I unpack a lot of people in this network going back to the 1940s engaging in that type of activity. But another thing I argue is that Epstein, the type of sex blackmail activity he was engaging in was is no longer needed to blackmail people. You can do all of that stuff digitally now, and I think it's no coincidence that I argue that Epstein told Ehud Barak to check out Palantir, which I argue in my book is really you don't need an Epstein blackmail style operation if you have Palantir operating. And there's a straight line, as I've noted in other past articles, from the Promise software scandal, which involved Israel, the CIA, this exact network, including Robert Maxwell, among other figures that pop up repeatedly in this story, all the way through Palantir's creation as a rebranding of the Bush era Total Information Awareness program.